Melania, I'm going to sweat a lot during this podcast. And it's not only because it's freaking hot outside and I don't have air conditioning. It's also because there's a prisoner swap. Woo!
Yay! It is a big breaking news day. The United States has secured the release of 3 Americans who were being held prisoner in Russia. Now they are heading home.
Congratulations to Americans who went to Russia during the Russian war and, I don't know, authoritarian regime getting captured and exchange for whom?
Including the son of a Russian lawmaker involved in a mass fraud scheme, also a Russian businessman involved in a $93 million scheme to hack into American corporations for his own profit, and also a Russian intelligence officer we're now hearing. Fascinating details. This individual was accused and convicted of tapping into supplying potentially sensitive American electronic hardware and ammunition, which Russia potentially was going to use for its war in Ukraine. So there is a trade-off. And yes, the key individual was Vadim Krasikov. He's been held here in Germany. He assassinated a Chechen rebel in broad daylight 5 years ago in a park just over there in Berlin. And he was the key individual that Vladimir Putin...
Oh my God. Oh. Whoa.
The White House US officials saying it was not an easy thing to convince the Germans. And
I wonder why.
Well, in 2019, this beautiful gentleman, using documents in the name of Vadim Sokolov, entered France from where he moved to Berlin via Poland. On August, he rode up behind Zelichman Khagnashvili, who was the warrior in the Second Chechen War, and killed him. Fired several shots from pistol, and then moved. And he was caught. One of the few Russian killers in Europe who were caught, actually, and imprisoned for life. So yeah, do you wonder how was this murderer welcomed in Russia?
Let's watch. So, Mark, what are you saying? Are you saying that Russian agents are now even more encouraged to commit even more crimes and acts of terror in Europe because they know they won't go to jail, but they will gladly and happily ever after go to Russia and hug the president?
Yeah, exactly that. But let's talk. Let's talk maybe about crime, right? Well, how much crime? How much terror in Europe?
But I don't
Russians
want
can-
to. I don't want to talk about crime. I want to talk about cooking. Mark, do you like cooking?
I do,
Cooking shows?
yeah.
Do you like
Sometimes,
chefs?
yeah,
Chef
chefs-
Ramsay,
chefs
chefs
doing-
of Jamie
yeah,
Oliver,
Michelin
Ratatouille
restaurants,
cartoon.
yeah.
Do you have a little
Good.
rat
Yeah.
in your head?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
like that?
probably. Have you seen my hair? Yeah.
Yeah, but a little rat there pulling on your head. Also, do you remember last week we talked about Olympics? Huh? By any
Oh,
chance?
Olympics! Wow. By the way, yeah.
So
Good.
let's combine cooking and Olympics, and we're gonna get a Russian crime.
Russian
Anyway.
crime.
I
Wow,
lied to
amazing.
you. I wanted to talk about this. I just wanted to make the segue really funny so
It
that
was
our
beautiful
viewers
segue,
they
yeah.
get really confused. Thank you very much. Anyway, so on 19th of July this year, so like less than a month ago, Russian was detained in Paris on suspicion of preparing provocations during the 2024 Olympics. And he turned out to be Kirill Hryznov, a 40-year-old Russian chef. He revealed his plans in a drunken conversation which caught the attention of special services. So this
Because of
fucking
course.
guy, yeah, so he was a chef, not just any chef. He was a cook and he worked in a Michelin restaurant in Courchevel. And by the way, Courchevel, Russians love to go to Courchevel, so it's not really that surprising.
Unusual, yeah.
So he is actually a sort of celebrity. He was in these cooking shows in Russia and all of that. And so there was this giant investigation by the Insider, Der Spiegel, and Le Monde. And he was recruited by the Russian special services to carry out provocations at the Olympic in Paris. There is no specifications which provocations they meant and what kind of stuff it is. So what happened The official version, it was some kind of large scale operation, but it would have serious consequences during the 3 weeks of the Olympics. However, they stressed that it wasn't like a terror attack or something, but nevertheless very serious.
Yeah,
And
we've
by the
seen
way, yeah.
we've seen some disruption in France. The train lines were set on fire, right? The internet cut off in Paris. We don't know yet who did that, but we also know that someone tried to do something, right? Russians tried
Yeah.
to disrupt the Olympics.
And it's very important that when he returned to Russia after working in Courchevel in 2010, he contacted the owner of his Parisian apartment, and he actually told him that he was working for the government. And and then and then he fucking went to a bar, got drunk, and told everyone that they should, uh, prepare for something that is going to happen in the Olympics. And I guess finally, after what, 10 years, somebody looked at that seriously, and then they found out that he was not just involved with the government of Russia, but he was involved in a so-called V subunit, and V stands for Vimpel. It's one of many serious subunits of Russian special forces. So yeah, even though this alleged plot is not believed to have been terror related, but that doesn't mean anything with Russia, because nothing means anything, because they say one thing and do something else. And this kind of event, even though we literally told you this was gonna happen, like in our last video, we were like, yeah, you know, letting Russians go into Europe is a stupid idea because they are crazy and armed and do crazy shit.
And
Well,
half of
there
them
you
are
fucking
FSB
go.
agents.
Yeah, I didn't have to fucking work in secret service in France to fucking crack this case open. Like, Jesus Christ, a Russian, a terrorist, impossible.
Yeah,
But nevertheless, yeah.
you see three bald dudes in a restaurant speaking Russian. Um, they look scary a little bit. They probably are scary. They probably are gangsters, and also like Russian gangsters are usually like Vadim Krasikov. Are very often are FSB agents. So yeah, you're probably right.
I'm
You can guess it
actually
really
against
easy.
I'm actually against profiling, but this is the only case where I like think that if you see a Russian or hear Russian language, you should 100% immediately check them. Like, this is not, I'm not even joking. I'm very serious. Like, it's not good when you do it to any other people. When we talk about Russian, if you hear and if you see a Russian person somewhere, call the fucking police. Like, it's not, I'm not joking. Like, he's a fucking chef. He was cooking on TV, and now he's fucking disrupting the Olympics.
That's the
So,
second. That's the second Russian agent chef. Do you remember
right. Yeah.
the guy caught in the United States in Havana syndrome investigation was also a chef and was also participating in TV. Yeah. We usually our episodes are about American officials, military officials, or agents doing stupid things and revealing secrets. But this Russian,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
There's a lot to be said about Russian cooking culture, but if I know anything at this point is A, don't drink any tea that Russian ever offers you because it's probably full of polonium, and B, don't fucking cook anything or eat anything that a Russian has cooked for you because it's probably fucking poison. Just like this
Yeah,
new
even if
let's
it's
do this
not
new
poison,
trend.
literally, it's it's
It's
poison
poison
anyway.
figurative anyway. Yeah, so it's a new lesson we learn. But because of this horrible thing that happened, thank God this guy got caught, we decided to take a walk down this horrible, horrible memory lane and remind you of the fact that there are no isolated incidents with Russians in Europe, and especially with Russians who plot and do crazy stuff. It's not the first person, and it's not the first time the Russian was accused or found or discovered or planned something horrible in Europe, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, yeah. So Germans actually have a reason to be upset about this exchange.
CNN is reporting that a Russian plot to assassinate the boss of a major German weapons manufacturer was stopped earlier this year. U.S. intelligence reportedly alerted German authorities that the chief executive of Rheinmetall was just one of several bosses in the European defense industry who had been targeted by the Kremlin.
So this dude Vadim, right? He's a great inspiration for those who wanted to assassinate chief executives of European military industrial complex, right? Wow,
Yeah, this
not a problem
feels
at
really
all.
nice. Not a problem at all.
We
Nobody should
should,
be worried.
yeah, we should appreciate Evan Gershkovich, who went to Russia during the war and got captured there for trying to, I don't know, doing a reporting which everybody needed, was craving for this fucking reporting. Now German chief executives and European like officials are in danger because they know that Russia can just capture people and then exchange them for those who try to assassinate or do assassinate.
But
Yeah,
assassination is not the only method you can disrupt anything in Europe. So there was arson. It's
arson.
a
Oh yeah,
hobby that Russians divulge in a lot. So they were trying, and by they I mean Russians, were trying to torch a couple of places in Europe, and not just one country, but actually three: Great Britain, Poland, and the Czech Republic. So the first instance happened back in the day when a British man was accused of plotting to torch a London business connected to Ukraine, and he has been charged with conducting hostile activity to benefit Russia, as British prosecutors said. His name is Dylan Earl, and he was 20 years old. You know, Russians like them young. And he was connected somehow to the Wagner mercenary group. I mean, as it seems like everyone these days is. And of course, UK has banned Wagner and treats them as terrorist organization. He is accused, as any person who has to do something with Russia, with fraud, carrying out reconnaissance of targets, and recruiting others to assist Russian intelligence services in UK. He also allegedly planned and paid others to burn down two shipping businesses at an industrial park in East London on March the 20th, 2024. The target of the fire was named as Mr. X in the court charges. That is beside the point, but that is not, the only time this actually happened.
yeah. Poland actually arrested 9 members, nine of alleged Russian spy ring. Nine. So I mean, when we say you see Russians, they're probably FSB agents. This is true, even if they are pretty, which they aren't. Russia has arrested 9 members of alleged Russian spy ring in connection with alleged sabotage plots. Prime Minister Donald Tusk said on Monday. Um, Also, there are signs that Russian intelligence services are behind the fire in Splonella shopping center, although our investigation is still ongoing, said Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk at press conference on 21st of May 2024. The shopping center was one of the biggest in the Polish capital and burned almost completely down on 13th of May. Wow.
And remember when I said about the Czech Republic? Well, the Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala has said that a failed arson attack that took place in Prague in June was very likely organized and financed by Russia. Speaking after a meeting of the Czech National Security Council, Mr. Fiala said that the failed attack was evidently part of a hybrid campaign of sabotage being run by Moscow against European countries. So somebody noticed it's a campaign. Good, nice, feels good,
Yeah.
feels good.
Okay.
But the Czech Republic and some arsons is not. I'm sorry to say this. That's not the most terrifying thing that happened. It's what happened even before that in the Czech Republic, and that is actually a series of mysterious explosions at Czech ammunition depots. So it's not civilian objects anymore. We're coming kind of back to the modus operandi of them trying to kill defense people and defense structures and defense businesses and whatnot. So back in 2014, there was a series of mysterious explosions at the Czech's ammo depots, and it was blamed on an elite unit of Russia's military intelligence service, a group that Britain has linked to a 2018 attack with a nerve agent on a former Russian spy in Salisbury, England. So yeah, again, it's all connected. And I'm not. This is not a meme. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I
Yeah,
promise.
yeah.
It just is. It's all connected. They're all
Yeah,
over the place doing the same people are doing the same crap. Like it's
yeah.
not
They
that they
also
have like a 5,000 of them. It's literally the same fucking guy buying tickets all over European Union, just literally taking a fucking train, sitting there near you in Deutsche fucking Bahn or whatever, and just like riding around going yay, and then just like pops into different cities in Czech Republic, in Poland, in Germany, and just does all this crap, and
Yeah,
nobody's
yeah,
paying
yeah.
attention.
They also organized explosions in Bulgaria. The Sofia City Court of provisions of European arrest warrants for 6 Russian citizens suspected in connection to 4 ammunition warehouse explosions. 4 in Bulgaria between 2011 and 2020. So yeah, 4 explosions, ammunition depots. Uh, Jesus, this is war. I mean, like, this is war. They are on the territory of European Union with war aims, not just because they are crazy Russians or beautiful creatures with some different mind. No, because they are,
Mystical soul.
yeah, they are waging war against Europe, and they are doing this. They know what they're doing. Look at this Putin and Krasikov, right?
And if you were thinking it's only one part of Europe, it's not. Actually, the Norwegian Police Security Service has discovered that Russian intelligence agents are working in Western Norway, which could mean that Russia may be preparing sabotage operations at critical infrastructure. And this district has the largest naval base in Northern Europe, and as well as important oil and gas facilities, such as all these names that I can't pronounce, along with power plants and other facilities related to electricity supply. And you know what? I would maybe, to play devil's advocate, I could say something like, well, it's, far fetched. Energy infrastructure. That is a invalid military aim since, it's Norway, Europe, with nothing to, do with Russia. But you know what? No, they actually are pretty good at targeting energy infrastructure, as seen in Ukraine in the past 2.5 years. It's not new and it's really disruptive, and they know it's working, and they will gladly do it to you guys wherever you are. They don't give a shit. They will
Yeah,
destroy your power plants, and you will sit at home. Well, it's freezing winter with no heating, because this is what they do.
yeah. Let's be honest here. If it was some kind of a, I don't know, Morocco, or I don't know, like the Egypt, Iraq, Syria,
Hmm.
doing this stuff, the like, not a single Syrian or not a single Egyptian, not a single Moroccan would be issued a visa into the European Union after these series of attacks, right? This is so massive. Um the type of the attacks is infuriating, right? It's energy, it's military infrastructure, it's everything, it's civil infrastructure, it's everything. And still Russians are welcomed into Olympics, right? Which they are sabotaging. Russians are welcome to, I don't know, be chiefs in French resorts. Russians are welcome to walk around cities here, and it's just absolutely crazy that this kind of thing is allowed. It's not about, I don't know. By the way, there's news. There's actually someone who's helping Russians doing all that thing right inside of the European Union. So earlier this month, Hungary published details of the new fast track visa system for citizens of 8 countries, including Russia and Belarus, to enter Hungary. Which is, if you don't know, Hungary is in Schengen zone, which doesn't have borders with other European countries, most of them. Um, yeah, how do you like that? How do you like that?
Yeah, I actually like am not surprised. And if you know what, if we're talking about things that happened um, that are, I guess, even more interesting than just some random planning and executing some boring terror attacks on civilians, it's actually not that surprising. But when Zelensky was going visiting Poland, he was there. Uh, Polish police actually arrested a Polish guy, and it's alleged that he was aiding a plot by Russian intelligence services to assassinate the Ukrainian president. So it's not like it's something that I'm very surprised by everywhere. Like, shitty people are everywhere. It's just the law enforcement's job to kind of try and make sure it doesn't happen, prevent it, and just like not giving Russians visas is just a way out of that problem. Just don't let them in. Don't let them in. Just like don't let them in. I have nothing else to say. I have no other advice for you. Like, you should tell your security services just like you guys work better, right? Advice. So stop being poor. Just like work better. No. These things are bound to slip through the cracks, and the only thing you do is just like don't let them come to your country. You wouldn't let a fucking murderous horrible person live in your home. Just like don't let them come. Let them stay. Like it's gonna be very
Yeah,
easy.
they will be
Just like
fine.
don't
They
let them
will be
come.
fine. They have like 1/6 of Earth land,
Yeah,
right?
there's
They
enough
will have
of
they will
yeah.
have enough place to go. They will be fine. They will be totally fine without coming to Spain, and having fun at the beaches. It's gonna be all right. If you're a
And I think
European, yeah,
and
go
by
ahead.
the way, it sounds horrible, but like whenever you do these prisoner swaps with Russians, just like look after the people you're bringing back from Russia, a bit closer. I'm not saying they can be brainwashed or turned, or I'm not alleging that about anybody since I don't know, but they have no boundaries, these people. So just like whenever you swap somebody, just like look after them, make sure that because Ewan Gershkovich actually already requested an interview with Putin in his letter to Putin when he was released. So, like, just, you know.
Yeah, it's not. Phew, anyway, if you're European, I hope you watched, and I hope you're really worried, and you will, I don't know, act accordingly. Be careful.
And I
Be
hope you
careful.
subscribe to this channel and send
Yeah,
this video to all your friends. If
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
European,
It's
please
European
leave a
Security Month.
huge like under this. It's a European Security Month to this channel. Please leave a like if you agree this should actually be a holiday now, because I don't know, man, how else you drag attention to that. Send this video to your friends who work in the security and law enforcement in your countries. We're happy to oblige to give you some more ideas about how to make sure shitty things don't happen to you. And yeah,
Thank you, and come back.
see you next week.